What's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to another last question mark challenge here today for the Italian Grand Prix with Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull racing car. Obviously, in the real-life Italian Grand Prix, the two Red Bull cars had grid penalties following their really great qualifying in the wet yesterday, and they had to start not exactly at the back, but further back than they were used to. So we're going to try the challenge today with Ricciardo. Last week we did it with Max Verstappen, and we had a pretty damn good challenge. We got Ricciardo just on the line for P5. It was around Spa. So here, hoping for a similar sort of thing and similar success, and hopefully we can do well. Obviously, Red Bull at Monza is going to be a bit trickier than Red Bull at Spa, because obviously there are less kind of high-speed corners to use the Red Bull's good downforce to use. So we're going to run pretty low wings here in the Red Bull car to try and get up the grid, and we'll try and see how we go. This is going to be uploaded, obviously, straight after the real-life Grand Prix, so as usual with these challenge videos in the comments below, do let me know what you thought of the real-life Grand Prix. Once again, the podcast will be coming out on the Monday rather than later today on the Sunday, so pop down any thoughts of the real-life Grand Prix in the comments below. Always good to see you guys kind of talking to one another about the real-life Grand Prix. And as I said in the last week's challenge for the Belgium Grand Prix, I definitely probably will jinx something. I think I technically just jinxed Verstappen for the entire video, really, doing the last question mark challenge, because, of course, Verstappen ended up with a DNF there at that race. So let's see what I jinxed this time round as we go to 5 red lights from P20, last place on the grid at the Italian Grand Prix with Daniel Ricciardo. 5 red lights are out and we're underway, and straight away getting a good bit of traction there to overtake Stoffel Vandoorne and Pascal Wehrlein very easily off the line there as we run down to turn 1, trying to suss out where we're going. Ericsson goes to the right, so I'm going to go to the left of Alonso. Very, very close stuff there. Double lock up to try and avoid Alonso's rear end, and it's actually Wehrlein, you saw on the right-hand side, has dived it down the inside of about 5-6 cars there and finds himself all the way up into maybe even the top 10. So brilliant turn 1 there for Pascal Wehrlein as we get squeezed out by Alonso. So we're back down to where we initially were, P18. We'll go around the outside of Alonso, though, up to P17. Very, very easy stuff there, and probably something we'll be seeing very often in the real-life Grand Prix, to be honest, with the two McLaren Hondas woeful in a straight line. Obviously, we go around the outside, or try to go around the outside of Jolyon Palmer. A little bit of tyre banging there as we couldn't just quite make it side by side in the second part of the chicane, but we do eventually make it, and thankfully kept it out of the gravel on the left-hand side, something I did in my career mode, obviously, in the Toro Rosso. Dipped a wheel in the gravel on the left. Very easy to do, especially with these wider cars as well. Monza becomes that little bit trickier, but now we go down the main straight. You can see Pascal Wehrlein is trying to defend desperately his position that he's got from Daniel Kvyat there as we go down the main straight, trying to slipstream Carlos Sainz. So we're going to try and make a move down to the inside of turn 1. May catch Magnussen napping as well as we go for it. Very, very easy into turn 1. First gear actually used as well to really get the car turned in and slowed down, and we do go around the outside for the second corner, and we're up into P14 now. You can see Marcus Ericsson there, and sorry, actually, so that must have been Ericsson then, my bad. That must have been Ericsson going down the inside of all those cars then. I thought it was Wehrlein who kind of jumped me from previously once we overtook him there. So it's actually Ericsson, but it doesn't really matter. It's a Sauber either way, and we're going to try and overtake him. To be fair to him, he does a really decent job at defending from me into that second chicane. So can we try something into Lesmos? No, not quite. There's plenty of moves in the F2 race earlier this morning in the Lesmo corners. I don't think the same will be said for the real-life F1 race, to be honest. Definitely maybe in this game, on this challenge, but I think we'll probably get Ericsson down this back straight towards Ascari. Here we go on the right-hand side. We've got no DRS here at the moment, just rich mix. It's only lap 2, actually, and we've had so much action already. Feels like it's already lap 4 or something like that, but we go around the outside into Ascari, and we get that move done very nicely, and we're up into P13. Now we've got a bit of a gap here to the cars ahead of us, so we're just all about pushing now. We move on to the next lap, and it's actually Magnussen who's going to try and attack us. He's overtaken Ericsson into Parabolka, and now he tries to go down the inside. Late break from us to defend from that, and so we keep P13 for now. And so, as I said, we'll just move on and try and close up this big amount of clean air we've got to Daniel Kvyat, who's finding himself in a bit of a train behind one of the Renault cars, I think that will be, as we go down into turn 1. Yeah, it's a Renault and then Grosjean, and I think that's Hulkenberg, because they've already passed Palmer, so it's Hulkenberg, Grosjean, and then Kvyat. So we're going to try and close up now into the second chicane. We actually move on now. It takes us till Ascari to really close up with DRS, and you can see we're constantly switching from rich to standard to even lean in some of these corners, because I want to make sure we have enough rich mix at the end of this race, just like we did in last week's challenge at the Belgium Grand Prix, so that we can really, really get a move on right at the end there on what should be very low fuel. But we go down the inside of Parabolka here, nice and easy. Leave him the room, though, on the exit, but we do eventually go out to the racing line and get that place. So now we can slipstream Grosjean. We'll subsequently have DRS and slipstreaming Nico Hulkenberg ahead of him, so we may be able to catch one of these two into turn 1 as they go side by side now down to that very, very tricky braking zone. We're going to take it nice and easy. We're down to lean mix, lifting, coasting a little bit. We can see Hulkenberg, a little bit of a lock-up from Grosjean. Now Hulkenberg goes deep, though, as Grosjean's lock-up sends him deep. A little bit of contact made there on the exit of turn 2, but that's just about fine. We're up into P11 now, and so we're going to chase after Grosjean, but by lap 5, this is pretty much where these super softs, well, the default strategy is to say to come in from these super softs. The super softs in reality aren't wearing out too much here around Monza, obviously very low tyre wear, but Grosjean does come in. We're going to continue on, and we're going to overtake a heap of cars now as we go down the main straight up into P6 now. Lance Stroll doing very well at the moment in P5 here in this race, so obviously Lance Stroll is a front row start in the real life Grand Prix. I'm hoping that for his sake that he can maybe try and be around there P5 in the real life Grand Prix, but I've probably just jinxed it. We'll see. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments below. We've got plenty of potential for a very tasty race in the real life Grand Prix that I'm about to watch in 2 or 3 hours time. Obviously you guys would have watched it by now with Lance Stroll in the front row, and also, well, it would have been Vandoorne up there also in the top 10, but he's got a grid penalty, doesn't he, for a late Honda PU change in the morning. But we close up in Parabolka to the young Canadian, getting a bit of tow before he comes in along with Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Obviously that's the other person, Esteban Ocon, that reminds me, in the Force India, also right up there in the real life Grand Prix. So here's hoping just before that real life Grand Prix that those two can put on a show and actually stay up there somewhat and not get overtaken by the main kind of suspects, the two Ferrari cars, Bottas, early on in the race. But we're up into P1 now, just taking it nice and easy in clean air. Well, I say nice and easy, going as fast as we can, but obviously it's a bit of an easier time in clean air, no dirty yet to kind of hinder our racing, and we go up until lap 7 on this set of super soft tyres. So technically we'll be going longer on the softer compound of tyres, because we're going to go and strap on now a set of soft tyres, the yellow wall compound, and so we'll be only on that for what will be 6 laps pretty much. So we're going to go longer. We've gone longer on the set of super soft tyres. Really not too much tyre wear. Could have maybe gone longer actually, to be honest, in reality, till lap 9 I would say as well, but really the tyres did start to give off a little bit of bad performance towards the end of that lap, so I thought I'd just come in on lap 7, and because we have gone faster on that set of super soft tyres, we do come out ahead of Max Verstappen, and also I think that's one of the Force India cars of Esteban Ocon. So we've only got the second Force India to maybe contend with, which is Perez, I believe, who finds himself behind Felipe Massa. Then up the road is Sebastian Vettel chasing down Kimi Raikkonen, as you can see, and you can see just off in the distance there were the two Mercs going through Parabolka. So it's a 1-2 for Mercedes so far in this game race, as Vettel goes round the outside on the left-hand side of the circuit to overtake Raikkonen up into P3 at Parabolka, and this is going to set off a chain reaction now, because Raikkonen goes a little bit slowly through Parabolka, and now we've got Massa and Sergio Perez closing up now with DRS. Obviously both of them will have DRS, so Massa goes to the right. Will Perez make it 3 wide? Let's see as they go down to turn 1. Perez will try and make it 3 wide, and it is going to be into turn 1. Who will late as brake as they dare? I think it's going to be maybe Massa, as Raikkonen has to slow down, and he has to actually concede the position to both of them. So now it's Massa up into 4th place, Perez in 5th, slipstreaming the Brazilian, and Raikkonen down to 6th place. As you can see, we're just in the background there, closing up. This is through into the later stages of the race, and Perez, will he try and make a move into the second chicane? He's maybe going to try it. No, he doesn't need to, as Massa locks up. Double lock up for him. He's gone wide and off the circuit, and here we come through with only 3 laps to go, including this one on lap 11 in P7. We can now see Felipe Massa in our sights, and we can maybe see a potential what will be best 4th place position here, so we could improve on our challenge from last week. We got up into P5 with Max Verstappen in the last question mark challenge at the Belgian Grand Prix. We could get up into P4 if we're fast enough here. We've got DRS wide open, Rich Mix here to close up to Felipe Massa through Ascari. Obviously the Red Bull should be pretty damn handy with the downforce of the Red Bull compared to the Williams car in the dry. So here we go, closing up ever more through the corners. You can see gaining so much there, and so up into Rich Mix, still climbing through the gears, getting the slipstream now towards Parabolka. We're going to try and send it down the inside. I think we'll have a look. Doesn't look like we'll actually gain enough, but into the brakes zone we close up so much that we have to lock up on the right tyre and really slam on the brakes to stop ourselves slamming to the back of Massa. So Massa very poor under brakes, and you saw again playing with the fuel, lifting, coasting a tad to just jump in even deeper into the brake zone. And now as we move on to the second last lap of the Grand Prix, both of us have DRS actually, but we're going to have a bit more speed because of the lower wings I'm running in this setup here down the inside to turn 1. Very nice and easy, very smooth in 3rd gear, then 2nd for the second part, and we're up into P6. But now you can see, as I mentioned, P4 is there for the taking because Perez is still right on the back of Kimi Raikkonen, so he's really struggling right now at the moment as we move towards closer and closer to that final lap of the race. As we go down towards Parabolka though, Perez, is he going to be close enough to maybe go side by side? If he does, this is, yes, it's going to really help us. We're down to lean mix even again, and lift and coast once more, just basically taking it very nice and easy, cruising through the final corner as Perez overtakes Raikkonen Raikkonen, slows him down on the exit there as Raikkonen has to lift off a tad there. You saw his car jolting. So now we move up into Rich. DRS open. He's going to have DRS on Perez. We're going to slipstream Perez. Then we're going to have to try and force Raikkonen a little bit right to make it 3 wide for a split second into turn 1. We just about make the corner. Slow it right down into first gear. We just about carve our way through into 4th place at the Italian Grand Prix. That was very, very close. I had to force Raikkonen to the right to actually make the move happen. So I had to make him go 3 wide with me and Perez. So that was very, very cool into turn 1. And we will get 4th place and we will improve on our challenge from last week. We've got P5 then with Verstappen from last. And then here we've got P4 with Ricciardo. Obviously, Ricciardo will probably be absolutely thrilled if he could do that in the real life race. Obviously, you guys will know that by now. But if you have enjoyed the video, guys, plenty of action there in this last question mark challenge, I should say, at the Italian Grand Prix. Then smash that like button. As I said, let me know anything you thought of the real life Grand Prix and anything you thought of this race challenge in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. It was Lewis Hamilton that's won this Grand Prix from Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel. I'm sure the Tifosi won't be thrilled if that's the actual podium, but it's looking maybe very likely, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I've just jinxed it there. Hamilton did obviously get his 69th pole position to overtake Michael Schumacher, his pole record there, and he was looking mighty fast in the wet, and Ferrari were looking nowhere in the wet on Saturday. So let's see if how realistic the game is going to predict this then. So Hamilton, Bottas, Vettel, but more importantly, we've got 4th place from P20 on the grid. Another solid last question mark challenge. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Goodbye.